I'm going to turn that mic on, Steve.
Mic is on.
Mic is on.
Management Services. The Desert Financial Credit Union is located at 300 North Beeline Highway inside Walmart. And their number is 602-433-7000.
And a big thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio this morning. Might not sound like me, but it is me. And if you want to watch on our KRIM FM Facebook page,
You can actually see.
You will see that it is me and Mr. Steve Harder. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Chris. I see that today's segment is entitled Steve Harder and Friends.
Yes, that was the plan. And as we know, we make plans and you plan on things. And we know you have quite a few friends. And we're going to be talking about the Northern Gila County Fair that's happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you'll have a lot of friends out there.
A lot of friends there.
They just didn't make it into the studio this morning.
My friends are, they're night people.
They're night people,
And sometimes the night person and the morning person, they clash. And I think today, the night person won.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, you're a musician, and you're a night person, but you seem to, you've done many of these community spotlight programs, so you seem to be a morning person as well.
It is, it's a struggle, lifelong, for sure.
Hey, well, I appreciate you being here, so that way it just wouldn't be, Steve Harder and friends, and not even Steve Harder.
Well, right, and thanks to the fact that somebody was over at Mackey's pouring coffee this morning. We're going to get through it.
There we go.
We're going to make it for sure.
Go-go juice, so you have caffeine. And we were talking before the program, even if it is just you and me, a half an hour, us to fill a half an hour is easy. If we had to fill an hour or 2 hours, we could do that.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Yep.
And still be slightly entertaining. So, come on, a half an hour, we got this. We got this.
As part of this segment, folks, we were going to be discussing some of the livestock, and we're going to have some kids here talking about livestock. And instead, I haven't really asked you about this, Chris, but I think you have a reputation of you have some good livestock imitations.
Is
that
not with these allergies though. These allergies are just throwing me off. None of them would sound, as good as they usually do. So, not even going to try, Steve. Right. Not even going to try. But livestock is a big part of the Northern Gila County Fair, and livestock auctions Saturday, 4 o'clock, with the buyer's dinner. Or meal, 3 o'clock, so people, you can get there even a little bit early, and that's so cool. I know we don't have any of the kids on the program. Last week we had Micah and Trent Hazelow on talking about their animals. Kids were at the Payson Farmers Market. There was a Northern Gila County Fair booth there, and talking about the animals, just all of it, FFA. So it's cool. They've been out in the community, letting people know the auction's coming up, trying to find buyers, and it's a great way to support the youth in the community.
Well, it's I don't have any kids that are involved in the livestock either. I do have a grandson who very enthusiastically has grown out his mullet for a year in hoping that we would have the mullet contest, which we couldn't find sponsors for this year. So. I had to break his little 8-year-old heart last week with that news. That was a fun dinner.
No.
Ice cream makes all things better with the 8-year-old.
I know that, man. Having an ice cream shop, I know how that is. Yes.
But it's amazing the level of commitment that goes into raising an animal and preparing it for the livestock auctions. And there's it's been a great learning experience for me to see how they do the weigh-ins. They have to keep a diary, like a journal of what they feed them.
Yep.
It's all part of, and I guess if you're a buyer of said animal, you want to know what's gone into the animal that you're purchasing. And I got to tell you, last year we had a record attendance for the livestock, and I believe we had record sales last year. It was good.
And I remember I was talking to Cassie Lyman, who's part of the fair committee and involved in her children raising animals, showing animals, or livestock. Yeah, she said I think last year 36 animals, so a lot of animals. This year, not quite as many, but I heard turkeys. Unfortunately, turkeys are. There was something that happened to the turkeys, illness or something.
They got gobbled up?
Oh wow, they didn't get gobbled
Yeah.
up, no, but they're no longer with us. So they're not going to be at the auction. They got gobbled up, wow, wow. So there are, fewer animals overall, and there'll only be a few turkeys. Man, you were a real turkey with that joke, man. I tell you what. But it'll still be great. It'll still be a great auction. Friday, gates open 9 a.m. in the morning, and Veterans Day all day. And there's a great presentation that night. Hailing our heroes.
Yeah, the opening ceremonies are going to be really special this year. This is my fourth fair, and each year it's gotten progressively better. My first year, I think, was we might still been under the wraps of COVID at that
Oh
point.
yeah, it was because
Yeah.
it was the only fair I think in the state
Yep.
that continued.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
crazy. Like when you just press pause for a second, and go, everything that we went through just put on a fair. All the hand washing stations and the distancing signs and stuff that
Yeah.
so glad we're way past that.
Yeah.
And but in terms of opening ceremonies, it's we've always done something for our veterans. Friday veterans get in free with their families, and we try to get the National Guard to help us out this year. Last year they sent up a couple, they deployed a couple bands for us.
Gotcha.
And we were gonna have their 12-piece brass band come and do like a patriotic
Oh yeah.
concert for us after the opening ceremonies. And about a month ago, they called and said, can't do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's, I guess because of the all the activity going on at the border.
Okay.
They had to recommit resources to deploy down there. Didn't have as much money to support a lot of the local community events that they normally would. And so you would think, well, how does the border crisis affect us? Well, this is one way. Fortunately, we have our own Beeline community band that's going to come.
No, that's
And-
great, and I know they've played at a few different patriotic events around town recently, and they do an amazing job.
I have to tell you, I'm very excited. Larry, the gentleman that I'm talking to, he must be the director.
Yeah.
He's very good. He calls very often and leaves me messages. Very enthusiastic. They are super pumped and
Nice.
super excited to be a part of it.
That's great.
So that'll be Friday night. The opening ceremonies begin at 6. Our gates are at 9 a.m. Friday morning. Is when the fair officially opens.
So there we go, and that opening ceremony hailing our heroes on the main stage begins at 6 p.m. Or starts at 6, and then after that, and that'll be approximately, I'd say, an hour or so.
We are hopeful it'll be 45 minutes
45
or less.
minutes. There we go.
But one never knows.
Yep, because right after there's a band playing the Collective.
The Collective,
The Collective.
great band.
Yeah, and they're playing from 7 to 10. So that's great. And then in the main arena at 5 p.m. Is the Gymkhana, the horse show, open to all horses, all types.
That'll be great. That brings in a lot of families. It can run late, which is kind of cool. It's the Gymkhana in the background late in the on Friday nights has kind of become part of my soundtrack.
There you go.
For the fair. The Collective Band is a group that we pulled together, and I'm actually a part of it. I've got some personal all-star friends of mine coming into town. Thomas Claxton, who's one of our performers throughout the weekend. He came last year.
Oh, yeah.
And he was kind of nobody knew him, and as soon as he got up to sing, a lot of people just stopped what they were doing. He's fantastic. You can find him at thomasclaxtonmusic.com. Or you can find him on Facebook. Thomas is going to be joining me. Local drummer Sean Gosney will be playing with us. And then my two dear friends, Kim and Randy Wolford from the Eagles Ronstadt Experience, will be playing with us on Friday night. So the Collective is my personal musical mercenary band. It should be great.
It is quite the Collective. It's appropriately named.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
That's marketing. Nice.
Because I don't want to skip too far ahead, but you mentioned the Eagles Ronstadt band, the Eagles Ronstadt Experience, and they're the band that's playing Saturday night starting at 8 p.m.
Correct, yeah. This group is from Southern California. They are fantastic. They tour all over the United States, doing fairs and private parties and all the casinos. Super polished, super professional, and having had the pleasure of performing many years with Kim Wolford, who's the Linda character, and Randy, who's the guitar player in the band. I can tell you the music's going to be great. Bring the family out. We're going to have 2 beer gardens going this year.
Okay.
Twice the fun.
Yeah.
And one beer garden is actually going to be a little closer to the auction area, and this is strategic.
Okay.
Because, when you have a couple adult beverages in you, you tend to maybe bid more than you normally do.
There you go. So, also Saturday, small stock show, livestock tent that starts at 9 and gates open at 9 a.m. On Saturday. There's also a round robin livestock competition that morning, and then the livestock auction, the buyer's dinner. If you are going to be buying, if you want to participate in the auction, then go to the buyer's dinner, get all set up, get registered, get ready to go, and then the auction starts at 4. Also in the main arena going on, all day, it seems like, is a Western and English horse show. So that's really cool.
That should be great. This is a new addition for my stint with the fair. So I'm really excited to see what that's all about. As a young kid, my sisters were in 4-H, and our neighbors were from England, and they were the English riders.
Oh, yeah.
The ones, because we're a small town. It wasn't like there was a bunch of them. It was our neighbors, and then my sisters did the westerns. So it's good. Yeah, or something like that.
Something like
sure.
that. I don't know. Yeah.
The horse had horrible teeth.
Oh, no. Oh, of course it did. English horse. Come on. And then on the main stage, there's stuff going on all day, and this is really cool. And if you want to look at the schedule, again, you can visit the fair's website. It's ngcfair.com, and there's a complete schedule of all the events, but there's a hula group, local hula group, 10 a.m.
Yeah, Tiana's bringing her little hula people.
Oh, yeah.
Last year it was very cute because the deck of the stage got kind of hot.
Yeah.
And so she had them put their shoes on, and one little girl, all she had was her cowboy boots. So she had her little pink cowboy boots under her little hula skirt. And
there you go.
Killed it. It was great.
And
we really look forward to having them.
Oh yeah, and then Fitz Magic. And now, is this the same magician that's been at the fair?
Yeah, John Fitzsimmons, and
he's good.
He's been on Penn and Teller's Fool Me, doing one of his tricks that he does at the fair. He did get found out by Penn and Teller. They were able to figure it out, but his episode aired last fall, and recently he was on I Can See Your Voice. He's very active with the Kids Museum in Phoenix as well.
Gotcha.
I think his wife is the director there. So he's going to be doing a number of shows for us. He's going to be walking around doing up close magic throughout the day on Friday and Saturday, and then he's actually going to open for the Eagles Ronstadt Experience on Saturday night with more grown-up but still PG
Yeah.
comedy and,
Gotcha.
and act. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in that light, because I've only seen him come and work with our kids on Friday, which is a great day. It's Kids Day, Family
Yeah.
Day at the fair.
At the fair, yeah. And then the Payson Posse also taking the stage at noon and 4 p.m. On Saturday, doing reenactments, and they're always fun to watch.
Well, I got to tell you, this has been a learning experience for me as well. You're never too old to learn, and I've been reminded that a lot since I got on the board with the fair. I'll try and keep this short, but in all of our meetings, you know, the fair, each year's fair kind of begins the week after this year's fair ends. We start meeting and planning, and several months ago, I think it was Faith Lowry said to me, she goes, you know, we've got a reenactment group here in town, we should have them come. I said, man, that sounds great. And I figured in a town our size, how many reenactment groups could there be?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you experienced that a little bit.
I did. So
Yeah.
I saw the Ponderosa Pioneers did a thing at the Oxbow.
Yeah.
Reached out to them, like, man, we'd love to be a part of it. And then I got an email from Faith that was like from another group, which is the Payson Posse. And so there was Faith and I weren't in sync, and it's nobody's fault. I just was operating in the assumption in a town our size, one reenactment group, and there are in fact two. So the good news is Friday we've got the Ponderosa Pioneers at the fair all day, and they'll be doing their take on the reenactment thing. I think their times are at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m.
3 p.m., that's right, on Friday.
And then on Saturday we have the Payson Posse. So if you want a sample of reenactment groups, there's no better place to come.
There you go.
You can see the two that our town has to offer within a 24-hour span of each other. And the other thing that I've learned, Chris, is that there's a splinter group that is talking about starting Civil War reenactments.
Oh, wow, okay.
And to me, honestly, feels like a stretch.
Civil War. Well, you know, we did have a Civil War reenactment group come to Payson. They performed in Green Valley Park, and it was really cool. It was really cool. I know, you know, you have a lot of people that are transplants here from different places, parts of the country. And growing up in Pennsylvania, not far from Valley Forge, you know, we would do field trips to Valley Forge. Real close to Washington's Crossing. I grew up a mile from the Delaware River, so there was all of that history right there. So I thought, yeah, it's really cool, the Civil War reenactment group. If you're, you know, out west and you've been born and raised out west, West Coast, it's not maybe the same. There maybe isn't the same level of interest or.
And that's me. I represent that. It was just something that you read in history books. There weren't actual forts around. There wasn't reenactments. I encountered this, stumbled into this a little bit in Fort Wayne, Indiana one time. In the last several years, I was there on business, and I'd sat down at the bar to have dinner and struck up a conversation with these two gentlemen sitting next to me, and it turns out they were in town for one of the largest Civil War reenactments in the country.
Wow.
In Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Well, we had a couple scotches. They said, you want to come and see the barracks? And so I went and I toured around, and there were literally hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 people coming in uniform. They had real cannons.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
And then it started to get a little weird. It started turning into like a recruiting mission for them. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go. This is cool, but not that cool.
You wouldn't have been able to wear your flip-flops, man.
I did. Well, I think that might have been a deal killer.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, you're all SoCal. You're like, no flops, no way.
That's it. And no boba, if you recall.
No boba.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I just saw this morning. I have to show you a picture. Italian boba.
I might have to try the Italian boba.
So then the fair, one of the differences with this year's fair is in the past it's been Thursday through Saturday, where this year it is Friday through Sunday. So Sunday, there's still the exhibits. Well, people are picking up exhibits in the Tono Apache Gym that day. But on the main stage, there's Cowboy Church at 10 a.m. $10 wedding.
Yeah.
A real fun band.
Fun band.
Is it $10 wedding, or are they the twins?
No.
No, okay, that's Cross-Eyed Possum.
All right.
Cross-Eyed Possum that are up at Picking in the Pines, and they won the Battle of the Bands last year.
Good for them.
And I love the name, Cross-Eyed Possum.
They won't be here.
No, the
this year.
$10 wedding. No, another great band.
They're a great band. I was in search of a bluegrass band. I had a couple. One of the things I do is I help Chaparral Pines. Josh Skian up there has been really supportive. I help them find entertainment from all over the state, and I called the Arizona Bluegrass Association. I'm not a bluegrass guy. I've got an upright bass.
No?
And if you're watching at home, you can see I've got a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
This is my new hat. I got it just for the fair this year.
Nice.
It's a good one, right?
It
It's a
is,
good one?
yeah, it is a good one. It's nice.
It feels
straw.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but,
I understand. I've learned there are seasons.
Yeah.
There's straw season and felt season. I only had felt.
Yeah.
And anyway, I digress. So I called the Arizona Bluegrass Association and I said, I've got a couple events that I need a bluegrass band for. And they mentioned one band out of Flagstaff, and I can't remember their name, and $10 wedding.
Yeah.
And this must have been like one of those intersections in life that was meant to happen, because I immediately hired them for the Northern Gila County Fair.
Yeah.
I hired them to work up at Chaparral Pines. They played there this last weekend. They loved it. It was such a great vibe. And we get them again at the end of the month for the Food Truck and Fiddle Festival. They're doing a concert on Friday night.
That's where I saw it as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you haven't seen them, come see them at the fair. They'll be there 11 to 1 on Sunday, and then our very own Soul DeVille will be closing the entertainment for us from 1 to 3.
Nice. So Soul DeVille out there, voted, I think, best of the Rim Country
Best
band.
of the Rim, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot going on. It is a jam-packed weekend. That's for sure.
It really is, and we're so grateful for the community support, especially our sponsors. But we still need volunteers.
Volunteers.
Yep.
And now there are a few different ways you can volunteer. You can go to the website, which again is ngcfair.com.
.com.
I was going to say .org, but .com. ngcfair.com, and you can volunteer there. You can also go to justserve.org. And justserve.org is a website where local nonprofits and people, doing events, they need volunteers. They can put their event on there. So I know the Northern Gila County Fair is on that.
Yep.
Or you can call Debbie Henderson.
Call Debbie Henderson. Or you can call me.
Or Steve Harder.
Yeah. If you want to grab a pen and paper, I'll wait just a second. In fact, grab 2 pens, because probably the first one you grab won't work, typically. So my number is area code 562-212-8995. It's 562-212-8995. You don't have to volunteer for a certain amount of time. It could be an hour, 2 hours, any part of the event that you want to be a part of. If you want to go work in the livestock area, you want to greet, you want to stand at the gate and make sure that beer doesn't make its way into the carnival area. If you want to be a bartender, if you want to just hang out in the bar, we need bodies.
Ticket takers.
Taking tickets.
Ticket
I think we have an opportunity for any nonprofit organization to earn some money by doing trash detail for us on the weekend.
Nice.
So we're actually willing to pay somebody to help us just keep our trash cans empty and serviced.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. So a lot of opportunities to volunteer, to help out. with this weekend's Northern Gila County Fair. Kicking off Friday, 9 a.m., gates open.
Gates Friday. It's going to be just a stir of activity. It's actually already started, but man, we go from nothing to something in about 48 hours starting tomorrow at the fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
The number of porta potties and fences, and we have a beautiful, even bigger and more beautiful stage than last year coming in, and nice big LED screens.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the screen was great last year behind the stage.
Yeah, we're trying to raise the game. So I'm really excited. Our board has been small but mighty this year, super effective. We've dearly missed our friends Steve and Tina this year. I had to pick up some of the slack for them, so thank you, Steve Smith. You owe me dinner.
That's funny. Yeah, it's so much work goes into the event, and I encourage you, if you weren't able to make it out last year but had been to the fair before, previous years, you need to get out this year to see all of the changes, even to the down to the layout. The layout, I think, was wonderful because it allowed you just a better experience as far as seeing all the food vendors, the main stage right there, beer gardens, the auction area, and then it kind of flows right to the carnival.
Yeah.
So carnival going on each night, I think Friday and Saturday night. Is that going on Sunday night as well, or just Friday and Saturday?
No, it'll be going Sunday as well.
Sunday as well,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and I will tell you that the change is largely due to my lovely wife, Lisa. As a former Disney employee, she walked in there and she just imagined what walking into Disney was like. You come in that main gate and you have to go through all those shops and everything to get to the rides, and with a lot of help, we've been able to kind of recreate that. She's got, I think we have close to 30 food and craft vendors.
Nice.
They're going to be there, and like I mentioned, two beer gardens. Great support. We have fencing coming in, and I wish I could remember the name of the company. Local guy. I'd love to plug him because he's fantastic. Providing our fencing for us, which is great because last year we had to do it ourselves. We did tea stakes in one of those pneumatic electric jackhammer things. Yeah, so my back is grateful that we got that going on this year. So it's going to be great. The thing's got a great flow, and because last year came off so well, it was, in some ways, it was easier to put this fair together, even though we're a little bit shorthanded. So
yeah, but the groundwork was laid last year.
Yeah.
For a lot of what's happening this year.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah.
no, that's good. Again, you can visit the website ngcfair.com. Schedule of events, information about the livestock, just anything you would like to know about the fair, you can find on the website. Also, the volunteer form is on there, or registration form to volunteer, to contact Debbie or Steve with the fair, and they'll get back to you and let you know how you can help out.
Yeah. Chris, this has been great. I can't believe that 30 minutes has gone by so quickly. It just is amazing.
Fast.
Well, it's easy when you're working with a pro, and you're the consummate.
Well, you are a smooth talker, Mr. Harder. So it's like, hey, here we go. Yeah, no, it's always fun, and it's so easy to talk about this event because it's a great event. You and the rest of the board members, all of the people involved, the parents, the volunteers. Everyone, they just pour their heart and soul into the event.
Yeah.
Because it means so much to them for whatever reason, and they just, you guys invest so much into the event, and you can tell. And it's just, it's getting better and better, it seems like, each year. Not that, it was ever bad, but it's one of those things, that you're always looking on ways to improve. How can we make it better? What can we add to it? Ooh, we can do this a little bigger or a little differently. And it's cool that, you see that happening.
Well, and for me personally, one of my passions is to support and promote live music It's my day job. I work for an audio company by day, and so I'm really blessed to be with the fair and with an organization in the town too. They really support not just a pat on the back support, but they commit big dollars to help bring the very best in live entertainment to town. This weekend's going to be fantastic.
This weekend will be great, and you mentioned just very briefly later this month the Fiddle and Food Truck Festival.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be another amazing event.
Yep, I'll be involved with that one too. We'll be doing all the sound for that one. I've got Mike Buskirk is going to come and actually mix the competition part of that because
okay.
That's his jam. He's
He's
very
been
passionate
doing that for
about it.
years.
Great guy.
Yeah, done that for years.
But I'll be mixing the concerts on Friday and Saturday night. It'll be a great event.
Yeah, and that one is September 22nd through the 24th. So much happening, so much going on. Check out Town of Payson calendar, Rim Country Regional Chamber of Commerce, their calendar on the KRIMFM.com website. We have an event page. We try and get a lot of the events on there, but you don't want to miss all of the fun. All the live music and everything else that's going on in Payson.
It's going to be great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you everyone for watching and listening.
Good seeing everybody.
Yep, time to get back to the music with some Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Janis Joplin, Collective Soul, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
With this morning's KRIM,
There you go.
Hands for Payson, it's running.